Hello and welcome to the Sofa of Adam, the Tea Break Podcast 001, our very first episode with me, Adam, and Mike.
Hey!
On today's episode, we will be discussing Beyond Good and Evil 2, PlayStation VR and the network in general, just the store and what we think of it. But to start us off, we're going to be discussing Skyrim and Fallout VR. In a quote earlier today, we found out that Skyrim is probably going to be released in December.
About that.
In England, or so we were told. It seems to be most of the release dates we've got over here are December 20th?
About 23rd?
23rd?
22nd?
Just before Christmas. Really pointless, we think.
Yeah.
But everywhere I look in the past hour says November 17th, which is really misleading. I don't know if
Unless it's a physical release thing.
I think it might be. It's either physical release and pre-orders, or it's just American England release dates, which does happen every now and then. So as far as that goes, what do you think, Mike?
As you said, we think it's a bit pointless to release that close to the holidays. You'd think from a business standpoint you'd want to maybe at the beginning of the month, maybe the end of the previous month, so people are going, we want to get this for our kids, our brother, for Christmas, not in the middle of the year.
No, it does seem a bit late.
But apart from like their business practices, I can't wait.
No, I can't wait.
Let's say 180 magic.
180, yeah, that's true.
Because it's not true 360 because of the light bars.
Well, no, you say that. It's got bar tracking on the back of the headset, but obviously,
on the
Move controllers, if you're facing away, that'd be a problem, yeah. That's why I'm probably going to be sticking with controller, as you probably will do as well, to be honest. I don't know
I'll give it a go with...
I'll try teleporting, but I'll then immediately turn it off.
Yeah.
So after I've done the teleporting for 5 minutes, I'll walk around the game and play it normally with a controller, and then I expect on the channel when we get a house or something, we'll teleport around the house, and then we can pick up stuff that you find. Because I hoarded everything in my house.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, you hoarded everything in your house. Where was your house?
I had all of them.
You built that thing. I remember you building that really posh house.
I built the one by Riverdale.
I don't know.
Which was I did like a Tudor-esque, lots of beams, and then like the one by Marthol, I did like a mage.
Marthol, that was the one.
The stone
the mage
tower.
tower. Yes, I thought that was amazing. See, I can't wait to see that house in Skyrim. So that's all the DLC. So that includes the house building, doesn't it? It must do. That's not unless maybe that comes later. But I don't think they are. It's all being released, isn't it? It's the entire game.
As far as I've read online.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, it's the entire
Same
game.
With Fallout, it's all of it.
I don't know what to think about Fallout. Fallout's a different one.
I've seen clips of Fallout 4, I'm going, this could be the Fallout I could get into, because I did try playing 3, thinking, because when I played it, you told me it came out roughly about the same time as Skyrim, so basically what I was expecting was Skyrim with a nuclear wasteland skin.
Which it kind of is.
But it didn't. It kind of is, but it kind of isn't. But when I played it, I didn't get that feel of, like, I can go and play, I played Mass Effect 1, and then I played Dragon Age Inquisition, and I can sort of go, these are based off the same,
Oh, I see what you mean. You can see the mechanics working behind everything. You can get your head behind how the game works straight away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I didn't have that feel. It's like I went into Skyrim and goes, okay, it takes me time to get used to it. But when I got it with Fallout. For the hour, 2 hours that I played it, I was like, I'm not getting this. This is, how do I do that?
It just didn't click.
No.
So that's interesting, because a lot of the interviews and things that I've seen, I don't know about you, but they've been mainly people saying, I could never get into Skyrim, because when they went in, it was too obtuse, and they couldn't get behind it, and they just felt lost. So it's really weird to think about going from Skyrim to Fallout and having the same thing, because I would have thought Fallout's very similar.
Yeah.
But I've had that problem too. I've gone into it, and I tried... In number 3, I think I liked number 3, and you could do the mutants, and there was like a radio. I know you don't know. You're making a silly face, but
I do know there's a bomb.
Yes, there's always a bomb. That's the one thing I know about all the Fallout games is there's always a bomb. No, there's like a radio tower though, and it's run by mutants, and there was this sort of boisterous lady, and she was fantastic. It was really funny, and I really enjoyed that bit. But the rest of the game was a mystery to me. I could never get into it for the same reason.
But
I feel like...
I don't know what it is, sorry to cut across you, but Skyrim's been definitely one of them games where they've not exactly kept at it, but there's still been a big enough fan base for them to get away with releasing it twice in the space of a year.
Yeah, that's true. You can't... Yeah, that's a good point. That song, I keep listening to that song.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Elder Scrolls game.
Yeah, that exact one. Yeah, I keep listening to it because that song has been re-released by the guy that made it. Each time the game has been re-released, so there's like 6 versions of it.
Yeah.
There's like a new one coming out like
the
soon.
end
I
of
would have
the
thought
year.
for VR, but the last one he did was like a rap battle about Skyrim when it came out in HD, and I was just like, what is this? The world's gone mad.
Because it's weird that there's still such a fan base for a 10-year-old game, and I know there are games older with larger fan bases, but
Yeah.
for a sort of niche game like this, not everyone likes a fancy RPG.
No.
But to have such a fan base and to attain that fan base,
That is really difficult, yeah, because they change a lot from one game to the next.
because
but they do a good job of
so
it.
I look into like the Final Fantasy fan base, and that is like dipped and ebbed, gone up and down depending on the game.
No, it really has. It really has. It's been awful for Final Fantasy. Don't make me talk about Final Fantasy. It'll upset me.
All right.
Oh God!
But no,
I want to cry.
The store.
The store, yes, onto the PlayStation Store. Now, my thoughts on the store are quite simple. I hate it. I basically hate
do.
it, yeah. And earlier today, however, in relation to PlayStation VR, which is why we're all here, I think, it's quite tricky. Because my view of it is if you look for something in VR on PlayStation, you might as well just piss into the wind. Because you won't find it.
You go to one place, I'll go to the VR section, it'll be there. It's not there. Okay, maybe it's not on my store. And then you look for something else, and and then, or you go, oh, you might like, it was that game I was looking for an hour ago.
Exactly. You go through the whole VR section and there's nothing there. However, earlier today, and this is earlier today on the 30th, so actually it was earlier yesterday, Sony revealed that RIGS, Mechanized Combat League for PlayStation VR, would be another bonus game available in September 2017, PlayStation Plus, free games lineup. In their release about the announcement, Sony Interactive Entertainment Europe said that nearly 2/3 of PlayStation owners and more than 2/3 of PSVR owners have PlayStation Plus, which means that most of us that have VR headsets are spending a lot of time trying to find VR games and not being able to find them. Which must be a real problem in getting people to actually buy these things. Because I've tried to find things and they're just not there until a few weeks later when it pops up in some other section.
No, a lot of people, that seems to be a lot of people seem to have. They seem to think there is a lack of games, so it's like an expensive novelty toy with nothing to play on. But it's like, they are there. You just got to start at dawn. Yeah, I
mean, we had to get a PlayStation US account just so that we could play some of the American games. Because although I'm thoroughly British, it is called the tea break, and we do have a cup of tea. I know you can't see them, but we do. But in the US account, you've got World War Tunes and this RIGS thing, RIGS Mechanized Combat League on the PlayStation Plus. I think that's only in America. I've checked the English store and it says nothing about it. And I've looked everywhere. Apparently the next month's games in England are not RIGS. But it does say, in a little tiny box in the bottom of the genre action, for some reason, it does say RIGS Mechanized Combat League, PSN reduced game, for September. And I was clicking on it and it just takes me to the game bog standard and says 50 quid, and I'm like, tell me, is it out? Is it not out? Is it England only? It's just awful. Why can't you can't find information on the network?
Going on to the Plus thing, I'm confused why RIGS is their first game. I
think because it's a big AAA game, but it's more important than that because it's more to do with what PlayStation actually has their fingers in the pots with.
Oh no, I know this is
because they're not free. They're free to us, but PlayStation still has to get
they still have to pay,
even though they're digital. They still have to pay the developers for the number of code copies.
But no, the thing that gets me is
But it's a good choice.
I don't think so because. I mean, it's probably because I'm not a sportsy person.
That's fine, you go.
But I don't think it's good choice because it's sort of thing. When it came out, everyone was like, yeah, it's a sports game. Yeah, it's got the novelty of VR. But that was everyone's reaction. It was, yeah. There's been, since then, there have been a few other titles that have come up that have really caught the public's imagination. Resident Evil 7.
Yeah, that's a good point. That was fantastic.
And to just go, okay, there might be a bit of a stretch to go, we'll just take that mode out of the game, the VR mode, and then release that as its own as its own thing, and then PlayStation can do it as their free VR game.
Yeah.
Would probably be a lot easier to do and get more people into VR than Riggs Mechanized Combat.
Yeah, it's also weird timing to leave it a whole year and then start doing this.
Yeah.
I feel like PlayStation's been getting them out there quietly. I hope this is Shuhei Yoshida's marvellous plan, is get them all out, do it quiet on the sly, get everybody on board, get a load of people buying them, so there's a few of us. I mean, for Resident Evil, the numbers of people playing that were 200, I think, 200,000?
200,000 when that came out.
So there's about that many people in VR in general, about every second of about 200,000 people. That's a lot of people to be messing around. It just seems a bit pointless. If you want people to go out and buy these things, you need to be giving them games which matter to them.
Yeah, and they're a business, so they've got a lot of fingers and a lot of parts.
Yeah, so I think that Riggs Mechanized Combat League is actually a good choice, because I think a lot of people were playing it. Lots of people see that on the PSVR shelf when they go into their game, or Target, insert foreign... Walmart. Oh, we have those here.
We have
Asda's.
Yeah.
But yeah, you go into your local dispensary of games and they've got all your expensive VR games, and Riggs is normally the 50 quid thing sat on the shelf that you look at and go, it's very expensive, that means it's probably very good, and then you put it back because it's 50 quid. So giving that away for free means everyone that's already got one now quietly is going to go, oh, I suddenly own a PSVR really nice big AAA game. So everybody's actually going to populate those servers, and it will grow the game exponentially, which means it'll just give it a little bit of a fan base, and that's all that PSVR needs as a whole, is lots of little fan bases. Because the games are all just a bit lackluster.
Back like it was in the PlayStation 1 days, where you either camped Crash or camped Spyro.
Exactly. If there's no sort of mascot... I mean, I'm still reeling from this, and I don't want anyone to switch off the podcast at the mention of the name, but No Man's Sky would have been better in VR.
Oh,
I'd have played that if it came out now.
Its lack of content would have made up if it was in VR.
Yeah, I think so. Personally, I think that's what they should do with it, because for all of the slack it's got, and I hate it, and I hate everything they did, and I'm with everybody, I'm on the boat of it can just go to hell.
It's a bit late now. Too little, too late.
Too little, too late. But on the side note, if they came out like in January, or dare I say like November, and go, PSVR, there's an update for that, and if you've got a PSVR headset, go buy No Man's Sky, or if you've still got it hanging around on a shelf and you haven't got rid of it since we did what we did, then you can plug that in and off you go. And I think that'd be great, because there's certainly no Minecraft on PS4. No Man's Sky could be that Minecraft game, but
there is Minecraft on the PS4.
Well, yeah, but it's not. You know, you can't play. You're never, ever, 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 ever going to get PSVR for Minecraft on PS4.
No, you probably,
because it's Microsoft's own game. It's just never going to happen. That's never going to happen. That's just impossible. Even though you get it on phones, which really got my hopes up when I had the Google Cardboard 2-3 years ago, and that was all my life was. But no, I don't think we'll ever get that. So No Man's Sky could be that game. Or Subnautica. Bring Subnautica out on PS4. Sony should go and knock on some indies doors. Ark Survival, that runs on Vive, I think. Why haven't Sony gone to them? Maybe they have. Maybe all this stuff is happening.
Yeah.
Because Sony are constantly saying lately that they've got all this stuff in the works. There was an interview a few days ago, though I couldn't find it when I looked for it, with the actual owner of Sony having a discussion about how they're gearing up now they've put rigs in the store. They're now advertising it again.
Production.
I think they've made it cheaper now. You can get it without the camera, and there are new bundles ready for Christmas.
Yeah.
It's almost like this is what they should have done last year, but they've just tried to get a few out as if nothing happened, as if we've already got them.
But again, that was the thing.
It's like a second release.
I'm going to say that was the only thing that I felt was lacking from the launch. There was no... I saw one trailer on the television for PSVR before it came.
I might have seen two.
One. And then it was like, and literally we had to look up to see when it was coming out, because there was no adverts every 5 minutes going, bizarre. It's out, buy. It was nothing.
But I feel like that's something they'll have to do eventually.
Oh yeah, they've got to,
because they've got...
They've got them out. They don't want another Wii on their hands, really.
No, they don't want another Wii on their hands. I say them. They don't want their own Wii. No, that's very true. That's very true. Leading straight from PlayStation games that we're waiting to come out, though, Beyond Good and Evil 2 has been announced as of E3, and obviously I'm reckoning we're going to hear more about that at PAX. But Beyond Good and Evil 2 is an upcoming action-adventure game in development by Ubisoft. Multiplayer? Ubisoft what? Multiplayer? What's that word?
It's a French
Who's
word.
that? Oh, is it French? Oh, of course they're French. Ubisoft Multiplayer. I think that just says multiplayer and they're trying to be clever. And it's being published by Ubisoft. It's a prequel to 2003's Beyond Good and Evil, which I've never played, but Mike
I love it.
Yes, so tell me, make me your brother. What's the first one about, for starters? What's the actual plot, sort of in shorthand? Who are the main characters?
Well,
what do they want, and how do they get it?
The story, the game you're introduced.
Try to be spoiled. Do we care about spoilers?
It was released in 2003.
Okay,
if you haven't played it by now, it's a bit late. If you haven't
played it by now, then skip to the end when we'll be doing comments and things like that, which are
but
reading
no,
out.
you start introduced to this alien race, the kind of like skeletal, floaty, weird alien.
So is it one
things.
planet? So where do you see what I mean?
We
so
start off on the planet.
Okay, so you're on a planet with all your mates, blah, blah.
Starts off. You are this character by the name of Jade.
Yeah.
She sort of runs a semi-orphanage.
Yeah.
Not an orphanage, but she takes in all the abandoned kids.
Okay.
The game starts, the aliens are trying to take the children to steal their life force.
Okay, right. This sounds like Final Fantasy at the moment, but go
Yeah,
on.
yeah. You save them. Eventually you join a underground resistance to bring down your militant protectors, very North Korea.
Oh, so they start taking the children, but they take over the world sort of quietly, on the down low.
And
we're nice, but really
we're in league with the aliens.
Oh, okay, that's quite interesting.
And your job in the game is
the
to
resistances start to form, and you end up in
you basically your job as an undercover reporter. That's how you imagine being an undercover reporter, sneaking into these facilities like.
If you were all animals.
Well, no, you're a human.
Oh, are you? I didn't know.
It's a world where anthropomorphic animals exist with
like
humans.
Ball.
Yeah, like Dragon Ball.
The
pig is your Uncle Page.
Yes.
I assume, because Beyond Good and Evil 2 is a prequel, I assume Uncle Page will turn up to meet the captain of this ship, who I've speculated is her mother.
Oh, okay. So the trailer I saw. Well, carry on then. So that's what happens. So how do we overthrow them? Do they all get kicked off?
Yeah.
How does the game end from there? So you get into the resistance. Do it.
By the time before the final level happened, the public have gone. Oh, we see the truth. We're being sold as meat. Blah de blah. We rise up against our militant protectors. By that point, you're on the way to the moon. See, very Final Fantasy. On the way to
at the moment, I'm thinking 7 and 8.
Right, you go to.
Do we have a spaceship?
Yes, you do.
I was going to say, how do you get to the moon?
You basically find pearls.
So what's
in
the
the
technology then?
It's, I'd say, semi-realistic to a point, but not. It's still cartoon.
Jack and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, or are we talking like Magic?
No, I'd say more sort of realistic. It's like a jet engine's a jet engine.
Oh, okay. So
bit like a
jet. So a hoverboard would be a jet engine on the back of like a board.
Sort of,
and it would just fly.
Your main method of transport is like a hover cart where you upgrade and it eventually turns into a rocket ship.
Okay. Oh, I see. Oh, so you stick with one vehicle and you just keep upgrading it. Is that part of the story or optional?
No, that's part of the story. You need the rocket bit to get to the end.
Okay, and then on the moon.
The big plot's revealed. You were created by the alien race.
Okay.
Your mother. Well, we assume mother, if we're created by the aliens, took us and hid us on that planet, and then she buggered off, died.
Oh, okay. And that's how it ends?
And that's how the first one ends.
Oh. So Beyond Good and Evil 2 is a
prequel
so
it should end... If what I imagine is going to happen...
Oh, that's really difficult for me, because I haven't even... Okay.
First one will end... The end of the first one will be the captain, right? Will be the captain taking Jade to the planet and probably leaving Paige with the baby.
Of course. So this is going to be about an alien dictatorship race and a baby. So it's be like Moses. It's like the alien baby that got away in the river of space.
Story of Goku, but instead of becoming a martial artist, he becomes an investigator. Actually more Superman.
So that's what I mean. It's like so a baby gets away, flowed down the space river. Someone finds it in a space basket, takes it into Earth, and goes, "Oh."
Well, I assume she would know.
She'll know. I
the
guess
aliens involved, but they're.
That is quite interesting.
I like the elements of sort of Pokemon Go. You just get started. Oh, we'll pay you in the game's currency to take pictures of the wildlife,
something.
Yeah, it's very nice because it goes from like a seagull
Yeah.
to a weird sea creature. And you've literally got to wait.
Like Pokemon Snap, you sort of have to move. So instead of, it's like monster hunting.
Yeah.
I suppose you're just a person being a
investigative reporter.
Yeah, a reporter.
And the combat.
So you're not fighting.
If you
or you're
like
shooting.
Combat, this isn't for you because the combat at the time 2003 game. Remember,
I
combat
suppose we
wasn't
don't know.
great.
I suppose all we've got is that cutscene. Have you seen anything interesting on Good and Evil 2?
I've seen
Which
a
is technically Good
developer
and Evil
video.
0?
I've seen a developer's video where he was showing off that it was like I think he was basically showing it was a fully real world. You could leave the ship, you could walk in the ship. He went up out into space.
Oh, so the new ones was the old one like that?
No, it was.
So the new one,
PlayStation 2. So
yeah, but I was sort of curious.
It was.
You know what I mean? It might have.
There was
were they trying to do that? On the
yeah,
PS2,
it was sort of like how Dragon Age was. You had like big, vast areas, but they were all
segmented. Okay. So the new one's more No Man's Sky.
More No Man, yeah. And from what I saw in the developers window, there was like a few planets we could land on as well.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know.
I wonder what that will be like for finding like locations and like if you're travelling around a whole planet looking for somewhere to land and find a city.
I'm just worried it's not a bit too ambitious. Because from what I saw, it was like fully 3D, you know, from top to bottom, sky to atmosphere, and then space on that, and
That's
then
very impressive.
The planets in the solar system. We could go further. I don't know.
Yeah.
But in the solar system, it just seems
So what
a
are
bit...
you expecting story-wise? Because obviously we're on the same planet, are we, as the follow-on?
I
the first one.
think so.
So this is going to be set somewhere completely different. Because in the trailer I saw the giant pig guy, and I just don't know what that is. So please inform me. Do we know who that is?
From what I understand, that the giant pig man, he is an experiment.
Would that make sense? Is that you're saying, the developers saying,
Development,
or
they
just
were
concept?
saying they were
Like, that
basically
makes sense.
experimented on. Someone had animal DNA and decided to put it into people.
So that's like an origin for the animal people animals.
So, but again, I can't remember because it's been a while since I saw that anyway. And he basically went into it briefly, but he went into a lot of things. You know, very game developer.
That sounds good. That sounds good. Do we have a release date for that?
No,
we don't have
again,
anything,
but
do
we'd
we?
probably be announced, if anything, at PAX.
Yeah.
Assuming they're,
Assuming they're there. I assume they will be. That's something we'll have to do in the next podcast, whenever that will be.
See when PAX is.
Yeah, find out all some details
it's a
about
shame.
that.
I'd love to go and actually, do the journalism side.
That'd be amazing, wouldn't it, to actually go? I could go to Comic-Con. We could always work on Comic-Con. England has Comic-Con. I think the world has Comic-Con. I say it like it's an alien con. The world has Comic-Con.
I was going to say, like, the last 2 years, I have seen on my Facebook theme, like, the number of different Comic-Cons.
Yeah.
That have just popped up.
Yeah.
It's like this year I found out there was one by us.
Well, there's one in London.
There's one in London and there's one in Leicestershire. That gets nothing. Yeah.
What?
One in
Why?
Leicestershire. They get nothing
For
in Leicestershire.
For anyone listening that's not in England, Leicestershire, I suppose, is the equivalent of like farming country in America.
Basically,
just
endless,
nothingness.
And it floods through quite
and it floods
often.
a lot because it's flat.
No, it's in a bowl.
Oh yeah, but you see what I mean. It's very open. Swathes of nothingness for miles and miles and miles and miles. Just
they
farming.
Get nothing, and they've got a car.
That's so weird. Who would go?
Well,
that is
people in
literally that is the
Leicestershire.
equivalent of England's desert, Leicestershire.
And there's someone who was bored there. Yes.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. No, so we've got London. Up in London, they've got one. So we might
That'll
work
be
on
the
that.
one
That'll
to
be
go
one
on.
we'll have to look at. I've been to that one quite a few times, but you never have.
I've never been to a
something
con.
we'll have to work out. We'll have to work on that. And finally, a few of your comments from across the channel, as this is our first podcast. If you want to leave anything you want us to talk about specifically, or any comments to me or Mike, just let us know down below, and we'll always do our best to try and get round to those. The first one is from Edwee. And he was talking about Skyrim being in VR again, and he was saying 6 years, wow, this game is boss and will dominate, which is true.
Yeah.
I agree with him.
And as we said earlier, the fact that you can get away with releasing, twice, 3 times in the space of a year.
Stop 6 years, it's been longer than that. It's like, it's mental when you really consider it. And then we've got James Chung, who said a little while ago, whoa, great vid, which I just liked, because although we get a lot of these, I think whoa is an underused pronoun in the English language and around the world. Another one from Lil Savage. Do a second episode, I liked and sub. And this is because he's talking about a Drive Club VR video that I did some time ago. But then, a few minutes later, he also then put up with a comment, because I replied to him saying I had already done another video. And he went, oh, I just found your second part, and you're welcome. I love Drive Club and other VR games. I want it so badly. Which we don't actually have it. anymore, do
No,
we? Because we got rid of
waiting
it.
for GT.
We're waiting for GT, exactly. And our final one, which is from Conquer Live 101, which was only 3 days ago. He says, solid video, man. Definitely well thought out. Great charisma and voice. Thank you. Me and Mike try our best, don't we?
We do try, yeah.
With our British dulcet tones. If I'd say that, and he goes on to say, I'd say if there was a bit more to the editing and the visuals of the video, that would be the makings of a 100k subbed YouTuber, which we are so grateful for. It's wonderful that some people think that. Even though it's not true, we do one day hope in, you know,
we'd like actually get those.
We'd like to have people, you know, coming in. We want to create a little community of people that can sort of chat about VR and things without feeling like they're going to be pissed on by Xboxes and everybody else, basically. Anyone who wants to talk about whatever they like is free on this channel.
As long as it doesn't end in violence, I don't mind.
Yes, exactly. But anyway, if you've thank you for joining us. If you liked any of this, then you can join us on Facebook if you want us to talk about anything at Sofa of Adam. We've also got a Patreon, which is also at Sofa of Adam, where you can have a cup if you really want to. Well, I think that's really cool. If you want to see what the cup looks like, you'll have to go through our older videos where the cup is on display. I am drinking from it, but you know, you can't see. And if you want to have your comment read out, let us know anywhere on Facebook, here, anywhere. And if we've missed anything, or you think there's anything that you want us to discuss or read out your comments, we're always looking for things to talk about and things to do. So thank you very much for watching us. It's goodbye from me and goodbye from Mike.
It's goodbye from him.
If you like this video, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and we will see you all in the next video.